By the time I left him at 42nd Street and got all the way down to Wall Street, I had an outline in my mind. Quickly typed it up, called him up, said it's on your fax machine. I said, you're kidding me, aren't you? You're that good as far as sticking to deadlines? I want to make your life easier. He goes, well, go check your fax machine. In 5 minutes, so will your contract be there. And I published my first book in my name. Now, I got to tell you something. There is nothing like your shipment of your box of books. And it comes, you open up the box, and you see all these in your name. It's worth taking this risk. It is worth doing. And it's not that difficult. For if I could do it, so can all of you. Now, Tony left American Management Association. He retired. And I said, well, you know, I really wanted to do this other book. He says, how do I go and get in front of all these acquisition editors? I said, hire a literary agent. Well, what do? They are connected. Much better connected than an individual author. Literary agents are ones that chum with all the acquisition editors. They know what's in their inventory. They know what's missing. Yet you still have to do the work of building the book proposal. We already talked about the outline. All the other stuff, what publishers want to know, how will you sell your book? Think of a business plan. This is your topic. What is the demographics? We already talked about the impact on magazines for that. We talked about how are you going to get in front of this? You're Toastmasters. You're speaking all the time. You have plenty of places where you can actually get your book in front of people. Publishers are not going to sell it for you. You are responsible for selling your own book. Which brings me right into self-publishing. Self-publishing, you can publish something like this. And I want us all to give a round of applause because with my little books where I had my name, it's even better that you have your picture on the back. And I would like Deborah to stand up saying she just recently published. $25, well worth it. It's at the hospitality suite. And her picture, beautiful picture that she did, was on the back. That is rare, unless you are creating your own book. When you get published, yes, you may have your picture done somewhere inside the jacket. Oops. And I know mine's in somewhere. It's on back here. There's mine, of course, with my parrot, and which is now you understand the intro, is that I keep a parrot. But to get this is even better. She was prepared. If you're working with someone to go and assemble a whole book, or if you're doing it yourself, think about how you are going to build your brand. That is why you're getting published, is to get noticed and to build your own brand. You are not going to make money from a book. Your book is going to make you money by doing more. It is a means where you get to go and talk about what your knowledge is. It's your way of sharing. Self-publishing was not quite there in the beginning, and I'm not sure which there to use. I have somewhere, I found it last night, now what did I do with it? Something I did in 1985. This is how self-publishing was in the beginning. Photocopied, with my own different color and that. And I sold these through what is equivalent to the penny saver. It's called the Shopper where I grew up. Sold a few copies, but I sold it. What was good about that, and what you need to know for self-publishing, is that you have to figure out how to do the formatting. Anybody here know Jeffrey Gitomer? Jeffrey Gitomer is a salesman that has this little book series. Their books a little smaller than this, they're hardcover. And he says they're published by Bard Publishing, which happens to be the distributor, not a publisher. He self-publishes those books, but not until after he was commercially published. Commercially published will always carry more weight than self-publish. Self-publish, you have all these different formats. Unfortunately, we don't have the time. I would go into e-zines, websites, and blogs. Let's talk about actually having something that you are selling. If you're taking a small little handout, like I did with my modern day self-publishing work, count for an order page in the back so that people can rip it out and order more or make photocopies and order more. You are the seller. If you are selling through other sources like Amazon, like Barnes & Noble, you must get an order, what is called an ISBN. That's the little thing you have on the back. Now, this book actually started out, in case some of you know me from the past as being part of Toastmasters, I used to own a greeting card company. I didn't want to issue and print all these thousands and thousands of cards using the wrong dare. So I hired a copy editor that specifically edits greeting cards. She also teaches the course. Believe it or not, there is someone that specializes in that area making a good living. She says, I'm asked all the time how to start a greeting card company. Could you put something together? And that's how this came about. Self-published works. Inside, black and white. It's cheaper. Why I say to make sure you print your documents is so that if you have any photographs, they come out okay in grayscale. I printed these myself. I was in the greeting card business. I had relationships with different printers. This was printed in Canada. It is a hard, glossy cover because I wanted it to look like the greeting cards. Covers are color. Inside are black and white. Because I was going to sell this through stores, I had to get a barcode. Barcodes are separate. When you order your ISBNs, which you order from boker.com, and don't worry about writing that down. I have handouts. I just wasn't sure who would really be interested in knowing all these websites that are of interest, so I put it over to the side. Make sure that you order maybe 10 of your ISBNs. They sell the barcode separately. If you're going to go through any sort of media, and look at the modern day, you're going to have a print form, your Toastmasters, you're going to have an audio form of your book. Your Toastmasters, you're going to have a DVD of your speech. Now you have a Kindle, an e-reader, or the new iPad. Each one of those requires a separate ISBN number, ISBN, and it stands for number. Now with the internet, you don't even have to use that. You don't have to print anything. You can make an electronic copy. If you want that electronic copy to wind up being sold on a Kindle, on an e-reader, or on the iPad, you will need 3 ISBN numbers, no barcode, there's nothing to scan. If you're going to sell it yourself in the back of the room, you're going to sell it from your own website, you don't even need an ISBN. I will tell you now, as this came out May 1st, this is just a printed draft of my latest ebook. I swore after this one I was never going to do it again. After this one, I said I was never going to do it again. After my little ebook, I said I would never do it again. Then something new comes out, and you want to try it. You want to do it. You want to do it yourself. You want to do it through self-publishing. Once you do it, you got the bug. And as much as you bury it into your soul, you're going to want to do it. The things I talked about for commercially published is the same true for self-publish. You must have a book proposal for yourself so that you understand the demographics, where you're going to sell it, And you're going to go and look to see what are competitors in writing that topic. All things that we normally see in corporate world is called a business plan, which is basically what this was. It was a business plan. Now, granted, it is used for greeting cards, but it is your step-by-step on how to develop a business plan. Anyone that doesn't know how to do a business plan, I have these for $5. They're usually $15, but I just have a few here that are left over that will give you a chance to take one. And there will be a guide. Just ignore the greeting card part and just look at it as a general business. When you are when you are selling those, just realize you're going to do it again. You have your business plan. You have your list of what you want to cover, your actual outline, with the premise for every chapter. That will keep you going. The second excuse I hear the most, besides the fact that they said, oh, I stink at grammar and spelling, is I don't have time. My first book, I wrote 15 minutes a day. That's all it takes, is to write 15 minutes a day. Now, there's going to be days that you're going to really be into it and write an hour. You may write maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And there's going to be days you really have no interest in doing anything. Spend those 15 minutes re-looking at your outline, rereading certain things. You can publish a book by writing 15 minutes a day. Did I kill that excuse? The fact that you think, oh, I don't know what to write about, I mean, everything's already been taken. I want you to go to Amazon tonight. Look under the books. Look under Italian cookbooks. You think there's a few of them? It doesn't matter. People are always, if they're fascinated with the topic, they're looking for more. Deborah took a phenomenal subject, inspiration. People are down in the dumps. People don't know what to do next. They feel lost. Books that inspire you to take action are very popular right now. She's on the head of the wave. I would like to say that there's others that are ahead of the wave too. Every single one of you. Why? Because you're understanding the process. But you have a voice that you've been practicing. How many have written for themselves one speech? You can write an article. Because that's all it is. With a beginning, an ending, and a middle. How many have written at least 5 articles? I mean, 5 speeches. You can write an article. And also, you can write a chapter. Because a chapter is probably about 20 pages. How many have received their CCs and more? You can all write a book. You have enough material. You can get published multiple times.